Yeah. So it's me and Maritza and Miss
Yeah.
Vivian. Okay. Hey, y'all. Hope everybody's fine. And hey, Amber. I'll be able to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. So, good evening, good evening, good evening. And we're coming to you live from another platform tonight. You know what? I'm writing my book. So, um, we're using some different stories from all over. So, that's what the latte is about tonight. So, anyway, so glad to see you. And so glad to see you. So, hey, 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 hey. So, let me tell you. Today has been something else, and I didn't know what I was going. Well, yes, I did. I knew I was going to talk about, but when I read my devotional, it like slapped me all upside my head, and so I thought, this. Oh, I hope that doesn't get me in trouble if I said that. So anyway, the first thing I want to say is for the ladies, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. This is our next study. And if you are interested in all at all, join us on Tuesday night at 6:30 p.m. We'll talk about it more on Sunday. But look at this. 30 days to taming your tongue. And so I read this morning, and I also read my normal devotional. And then, of course, I love this one. I read the illustrated words of Jesus for women. It's a daily devotional that you can read and just color. It's, to help you relax. And so this one today's was be careful about judging. And I thought, uh-oh. But anyway, I want to talk to you about this a little bit. 30 days to your tongue. So day one um, talks about the lying tongue. And it tells you the different types of lies. There's plain out deceitfulness, there's half truths, and then there's flattery, and then there's exaggeration. So when you exaggerate. But let me tell you how I even got to this so that you will understand why this like spoke volumes to me. First of all, my agent Sharon, she's like, okay, you have to make sure that you stay on your platform, that you stay talking to people, that you're visible. And so I want to stay visible and I want to stay talking to all of you, but mainly I want to be relevant. So my hashtags are real, raw, relevant, refined. And so the refined part, we'll get to that later. But the real, raw, relevant, that's the main things that I want to talk about. So let me tell you about when we get to the lying part and how I even came up to that. So the first thing I want to say is for those of you who've been praying for me about my knees and my back, and I think I didn't get a chance to tell you last night because it was Bible study, but let me say this to you. My knees are doing pretty much amazing, and I'm going to start going to physical therapy next week. At least that's what the orthopedic said to me. He referred me, and he is also, get this out of my face. He's also he ordered me 2 braces for my knees. So last night I was telling you, and I need to tell you again now that I've inherited this. I've been thinking that it's my back all this time. I've been thinking it's my back. I've been thinking it's arthritis. I've been thinking it's the bone spurs behind my kneecap. And I got a second opinion. And here's the thing, I stayed in this perpetual stage of uncomfortableness. That's not even a word, but it's uncomfortable. It's not that it was hurting me, but it's uncomfortable. My knees were uncomfortable. I don't know if any of you have had a situation like that where it's not hurting you, but you're uncomfortable. So, anyway, stay with me. Stay with me. I'm going to go somewhere. So, my knees have been uncomfortable, and I've been thinking it's my back. I have 2 pinched nerves. So, It was my pinched nerves, but it's not my pinched nerves. So I had one doctor who saw me, and he's like, "Oh, you have all this arthritis behind your knees, but it's not bone on bone. You don't have enough to have surgery. It's really not that bad. Just take some pain pills, and I will give you either some Motrin, ibuprofen, 600 milligrams or stronger, and I will do something else." Hey, Johnny Bush. Hey, Fran. So when I was doing that, I thought, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the medicine like the doctor says and get the inflammation down, whatever, whatever. So the first doctor was my age, and I thought he really knew what he was talking about because he could see everything. But then a year later, from 2021, April 2021 to April 2022, I was still having problems with my knees. So my doctor referred me to the same Platinum Orthopedics, but this time they gave me a second referral. They said, "We're going to give you another doctor." And the other doctor was a little younger. And so he did a little research. So when I walked in, he says to me, "Have a seat, Miss Simon, call me Paul and Sean, call me Sean." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm going to call you Sean." Young guy. And he says, "So what's wrong?" And I tell him, I can't walk. I don't know if it's my knees. They're really not hurting, but they're hurting. I don't know what you want to call it. And so he says to me, "Listen, I did a little research on your file." "You did?" He goes, "Yeah. And I want to show you something." He goes, "See your knees?" And I see them. He says, "You see that up there?" He goes, "No, no, no, no. Let's back up. Let me show you 100 normal knees." So he fills up the big screen with all these knees. They're not mine, but they're a whole bunch of other people's knees. He says, "Now you see these knees? They're all regular knees, meaning the kneecap is in the right place." So then he swipes left and he says, "Here's your knee. No, here's your knees. Here's both of your knees, your right and your left. Tell me what you see. You don't even have to be a doctor. Tell me what you see." And up at the top are my kneecaps. They're not down here. They're way up at the top. And they're so far at the top that the doctor says, "Your kneecaps are so, let me measure them for you." So he gets the digital measuring stick and he says to me, "Your kneecap is up here. It's like going towards your thigh. It's 1.7859 difference. That's 2 inches from where it's supposed to be." So what we're going to do is I'm going to refer you back to the Hairston Daily best physical therapist in the county. He's going to treat you for what you need. He's going to write me a report and he's going to do exactly what I say. So I'm going to get you braces. What kind of braces do you already have? Compression. Don't use compression. Stay with me. Don't use compression. That's making it stay where it's not supposed to stay. You have no traction. It's supposed to go up and down, and your knees are going right and left. So he says you need the kind that the basketball players wear with the hole in the middle for your patella, and on the sides there's buckles to hold your kneecap in place. So he says to me, "You're going to go to therapy. We're going to get it back in place. I'm not going to put it back in place." And he didn't. He said, "But we're going to get it back in place, and then you're going to walk like a normal person. Okay? That's what's wrong. I'll see you in 2 months. You're going to be good. That way you can exercise and go to the gym." So great. That's on Friday. So on Tuesday, I go to the gym and I tell my trainer, Larry, what's wrong. Hear me. Now remember, I've been walking incorrectly for a long time. How many of us have been walking? How many of them have, and how many of us are in a journey that we've been wrong, right? So Larry says to me, "Oh, I learned how to put the kneecaps back in place." "You did?" "Yeah, I did." And so he put my left, which is the worst one, my left kneecap in place. Now, y'all, I screamed, I hollered. Yes, I did. And Gwen was there and saw it and was like, wow. But he says, "Now get up." And when I stood up, oh, it was like Jesus had just, touched and healed the man, and with the ankle bones, the weak ankle bones. And so I was walking like I should. Felt a little funny, but I was walking like I should. So he says to me, "You want to do the other one?" Because Gwen says, "You should get the other one done." Nope. Listen to me. I didn't get the other one. I didn't want to get the other one done. I didn't want Larry to touch that one because I was remembering what the left knee felt like. He popped it in place, y'all. And when he popped it in place, it made the loudest noise so that you knew it was back in place. Now, did it really hurt? Not really. It was just uncomfortable. Isn't that like us? God is saying, do this, but it's uncomfortable. It's not hurting. God is not doing it to hurt us. He's saying, trust me. And Larry's saying to me, trust me. So he says, we should do the other one. No, I don't want to do the other one. No, I don't think I want to do the other one. So he says, well, let's finish the circuit. And then when you're all warmed up at the end, before you go, I'll fix that one too. So at the end of the workout, I get my towel thinking that I need a towel to bite on because I saw him put another guy's shoulder in place. And I thought, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So I'm biting on, I'm holding on to the towel while he's like, does this hurt? He's jiggling my knee. Does this hurt? Does this hurt? Now, y'all, it really doesn't hurt, but it's uncomfortable. Did you hear that? It really doesn't hurt. It's uncomfortable. So when he's doing it like this, he says, okay, get ready. I'm warning you. I'm going to tell you ahead of time, and I'm going to move it. So while I'm screaming and doing all this in the towel, Gwen's there. He pops it. Now I'm all in my head acting up, but he pops it in. So Kurt, Evelyn's son, he's like, ah. And the other little fellas around like, ah. And Gwen's like, ah. Y'all, I don't even feel it. I kind of heard, if I'm going to be honest, I kind of heard it pop. I kind of felt it pop, but it wasn't, it actually felt like, oh my gosh. So right now, I'm walking, even today, I know that it's in the right place, but I was telling Gwen, it feels so funny. And Larry and Gwen said, it feels funny because I've been walking out of alignment so long, that's what I'm used to. How many of us have been walking out of alignment so long that that's what we're used to? How many of us have been walking and doing things the way we wanted to do, not the way God wanted us to do it, but the way we wanted to do it, and then we got used to it? And then when we got used to it, now we don't know how to act when we're in the right frame of our journey. Let me tell you why I wanted to say this. Walking in the alignment. Let me tell you this. This is what I learned. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. Revelations 2:29. The one thing I learned, what's mine is mine. And I don't know who this is for. It's really for me, but I don't know who this is for. It says, this is what I've heard. Her success is not my failure. I think I heard it from Cleadra. I'm not sure, but I've heard it. Her success is not my failure. And it can be for guys too. His success is not your failure. Pastors' wives, pastors, men and women in leadership. Just because someone else is successful doesn't mean you're a failure. Boom, I said something, drop the mic. Just because somebody else is successful doesn't mean you're a failure. And I'm going to tie that all together because this is the thing. We're so used to being right in our way. And God is telling us how wrong we are against him, that when he finally sets us on the path, the straight and narrow, we don't know how to act and we don't know how to feel. And we think it hurts. It feels funny. No. So let me read this. It says, faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Romans 10:17. When you can say, I get it, it's mine. The faith that comes by hearing is doing special work within you. Now, I'm kind of hitting on this from Sunday because Tony preached about faith. And it says that's because God honors faith only when it's based on what he's promised. If he's promised you something, believe in that. Okay? It says, so what you should fight for is what God has promised. Remember, you can't say God failed you if he didn't promise you in the first place. Uh-oh. Some of us are, Gwen and I are in the gym really, and I really can't say anything about God doing anything wrong to me because I'm in this predicament because I put myself in this predicament. God promised me that I would be healthy, but I have to do my part. I have to eat the right things. I have to exercise the right way and do what he told me to do. Be found doing the last thing God told you to do. Some of us aren't doing anything that we're supposed to do. Okay, so it says every promise in the book. Well, let me go back. Let me go back. This is the part that got to me about my knee. Okay? It says, "And you shouldn't get upset when you own misguided desires." When your own, I read it wrong. When your own misguided desires make you reach for what he gave to somebody else. Let me read that again. And I'm going to put it all to why I'm here about the lying part. It says, remember I said his success is not your failure. Okay, this is what I mean by this. A lot of times Gwen is Gwen, Sonia is Sonia, Lisa, everybody has their own gift, right? Who am I talking to? All of us have our own gifts, right? We all have something that God has given us that we are supposed to do. Whatever God gave Gwen, Gwen's going to do it. I can't do it because I'm not Gwen. Whatever God gave me to do, I've got to do it. Nobody else can do it unless I just quit and don't do it. But nobody else can do what God has called me to do, what my purpose is. And a lot of times we are jealous, we lie, we exaggerate, we flatter, trying to get ahead, trying to get over, and trying to manipulate. So in the devotion today, it says, here we go. God didn't fail you. God didn't fail you. It says, and you shouldn't get upset when your own misguided desires make you reach out for what he gave to somebody else. Boom. You reaching out for something that he gave to somebody else when you should be staying in your lane doing what God told you to do. Now, the reason I'm with all that today is this hit me. It says, be careful about judging. Forgiveness is our command. Judgment is not. We like to look at people and say things and do things. How is it that I've told y'all before that a lot of things, when we see other people doing things, we're mad about that. We're mad about it because they're doing something that we think we should be doing, we should have done, or God has told us to do and we didn't do it. So then, of course, we're going to be mad. Now we're mad. And now, because we took our own misguided conceptions of what we're supposed to do, we're mad because we start reaching and being jealous and wanting to do and being mad at God for giving Renee or Bud or whatever you want to say, giving them what I think I should have. So that goes back to me and my knees. My knees have been out of alignment for so long. I'm mad at everybody else who is walking straight. Well, they're walking straight because they went long time ago to the doctor to see what was wrong. That's my fault. God has told me over and over and has spoken to me and said, take your butt to the doctor, girl, and get the second opinion. I don't have my drink to sip today, but that's to me. I don't know who that's for. I don't know who I'm talking to, that he has said something to you to do and you're waiting on it, blaming others. Remember, an excuse is a lie disguised as a reason. So while we're thinking of our own stuff, our own misguided notions, we're the ones who are walking crooked and not in the journey. So then when I saw that, I thought, well, look, the devotion today, number 1 says, and she signed it, y'all. Look, she autographed it for me. Deborah Smith Peggy's. She said, the tongue, the lying tongue. And I'm getting to all that because what have I been doing? There it says deceitfulness, it says half truths, exaggerating, and flattery. Now here's me. This is where I come in. Half truths. Now, when the Lord said to me, you're a little overweight, not a little, a lot overweight, making your knees hurt. I go to the doctor. The doctor says to me, and she doesn't give me a half truth. My neurologist says to me, your L4 and L5 are pinching. They're pinched. That's a truth. That's a whole truth. And they're pinched because your back, that fat is pinching on it. So I'm thinking that it's going to my knees. That's my lie. That's what Laura came up with. Me. I came up with that. That's the lying to myself. I wasn't lying to all of you. I was lying to myself. It was more than just my back. It's a hereditary thing. My knees are not in the right place. They're sitting way up high when they should be down low. And it was uncomfortable to me. Who am I talking to? Are you uncomfortable? Is there something I get on y'all and I get on myself all the time about? Is there something that has got you up in a bind, in a bunch, but you haven't done what you were supposed to do? I don't know who that's for. If he has called you to do something and you've just decided, I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to walk the way I want to walk. I'm going to talk the way I want to talk. I'm going to go in the direction that I want to go into. How many of us are going in the direction that we want to go in? And because we've been in that direction so long, we've gotten used to it and we think it's right. I'll wait for you. Let me just be transparent and honest with you. Tony talked about it last night in Bible study. In our immediate family, we're having a little drama. We're having a little bit of drama. And here's the thing. You know what we found out? That, and we have to own it. We have to own it. We're not comfortable with it. We don't particularly like it. This may be something for you too. You may understand where I'm going. Families are families all over, right? Our particular family, our family is a bullying family. Yeah, we have bullies. I don't know if that's going to get me in trouble, but whatever. We have a tendency to want our way when we want it, how we want it, and we're going to get it that way. And if we don't get it that way, then we're going to let you know it. But guess what? Doing it this way, I'm 56 years old. I've been in this family 56 years, and we've been doing it, as far as I know, 56 years. 56 years wrong. 56 years wrong. When you don't get your way, when it isn't like you want it, if it's not like you want it, if it's not like you thought it was going to be, we as a family need to go to God. A, we need to repent. B, we need to go the way that the Lord wants us to go. A lot of times God has said, go this way, and our family has gone this way because that's what we do. That's what we like. That's what we're used to. We're a great bunch of manipulators. Yeah, we are. We got that good. We have the gift of gab. We have the gift of having our own agenda. We can smooth talk you, and then we can bulldoze you. We can loud talk you and stay on you until we win. Yeah, I don't know who else has a family like that. But is it right? We can give it. We can also take it, but we sure know how to give it. Oh, we can give it. We can give it. And God is not pleased with that. Wow. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I did. God is not pleased with that. And that's not just to my family. That's to some of y'all looking. Yeah. So here's the thing. What have you been doing that you've gotten really comfortable with? Half truth. And this is a half truth because we all do this one too. The half truth is when you say, um, um, I can't come by because I got to see about my dad. Okay. And then while you're at home, it's not a whole lie. You saw about your dad, but it only took you 10 minutes to see about your dad. So either you're late or you're not coming just because you don't want to come. Right? I'm on the camera. So here's my son coming in. But do you understand what I'm saying? We're caught up in half truths. We're caught up in exaggerations. We're caught up in flattery. Saying that you look good and you don't is not going to get you anywhere because God sees that you're lying. I'll leave that alone too. Flattery, exaggeration, deceitfulness. Deceitfulness is when you just straight out don't tell the truth. Uh-oh. So, with all of that, here's the thing I want to say because I got 3 minutes. Let me just be honest with you because Tony said not to say it, but I have to say it. So, we're on I'm on all the platforms, right? Because of the book that's coming out soon, my deadline is May 31st. That's true. I have to have my manuscript in May 31st. Here's the thing though. I'm on here tonight because I had to be. I'll tell you more about that tomorrow, but I had to be. And so the thing is, I was really arrested, convicted today that on some things, and that's in the book that I'm writing. Some things, y'all, it's okay that it's the truth, but it's always not, it's not always expeditious to say right then. See, that's the other comfortable thing my family is comfortable with, and I'm comfortable with. We're just telling you how we feel. We're just telling you the truth. Okay, we're telling you the truth, but did we have to tell you the truth? We're telling you the truth, but did we have to say it out loud? How many of you are doing that? Here's the book. You're welcome to join us for Women's Bible Study. Taming the Tongue. And the guys are going to do it too. Taming the Tongue. There's a whole bunch of stuff we do. And it's not just about not telling the truth. It's not just about lying. How do we say things? When do we say things? We do a lot of things that just, they're not right, y'all, and God is not pleased. So I tied all this in to say, her success is not my failure. I've been looking at people, I'm going to say it out loud. I have a tendency to compare, and I am really in the pandemic Jesus really had to talk to me about that. We have a lot of that, the comparison spirit. And what I got out of my study all week is this, and this is for me. All of us have a purpose. All of us have something to do, but we all reach different people. Sonia may reach Gwen. Gwen may reach Renee. Renee may reach Miss Vivian. And I may reach Cynthia. But it doesn't mean we're not successful. It doesn't mean you're not doing God's purpose and that He's not pleased with you. Cut out the comparisons. Cut out the exaggerations. You don't have to lie to make yourself look better or to make it sound more interesting. Whatever God gave you, and that's what He gave you, it's going to reach who it's supposed to reach, and it's going to come out the way it's supposed to come out. For this, I wanted to be on my own platform, and I wanted to talk to my own people because I wanted my own numbers. But today, God saw otherwise. Sometimes God has to humble us, bring you down. And some things that you do may not be what he wants. That goes back to my knee, y'all. I've been doing wrong and uncomfortable so long that I thought it was right. I've been comparing so long that I thought it was right. It's not right, and God is not pleased. Flattery, cut it out. If you don't mean it, don't say it. Your yay is yay, your nay is nay. Exaggeration, you don't need to make it extra. In my life, Tony and I laugh. I'm not going to even lie to y'all. We don't even have to exaggerate. Our life, this fishbowl life, we can't make it up. All the stuff that we have gone through the last 2 weeks and what we're going through right now, we can't make it up. Me writing this book, when you see the stories, we can't make it up. There's no need for me to do any exaggeration because what we've lived, whoosh, lies, outright deceitfulness, lies, cut it out. Excuses, yay be yay, nay be nay. If you don't want to come, you don't want to come. You don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. Don't give a half truth. Don't give a half truth because a half truth is a lie. And God, who sits high, is looking low and he sees you. He sees you, he hears you, he sees your heart. Cut it out. Talking to myself, I'm talking to you. I'm done. And tomorrow I will tell you why I had to be on this page tonight. Share if you want. And if you don't want to, don't. But just remember, your success is not my failure. Your success is not my failure. Stop playing the comparison game and just do you. Whatever God has called you to do, whatever he has purposed in your life, just do that. I look at my book deal right now, and it's a good book deal, and only God did that. And I am happy, glad, and excited. But guess what? I had to be ready to accept it. So tonight, God has said to me, are you doing this for the money? Are you doing this for the notoriety? Or are you doing it for me? Wow. Are you a bully? Are you a manipulator? Do you get mad when you don't get your way? Think on those things. Think about it. And then go to God and ask him about it. Let him work on you. Ask for wisdom and do the right thing. Be found doing the last thing God told you to do. And all this other stuff that's not pleasing to him, cut it out. I know I am. I want him to say, servant, well done. I don't want him to say, girl, he was the biggest liar, exaggerator, comparison person, deceitful woman. Don't cheat on your taxes. Don't cheat on your mate. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't lie. God is not pleased. I didn't mean to be serious, but I figure if he's whooping me, all right. See y'all the next time. I'll tell you what happened tomorrow.